But every morning, I tell everybody good morning. Not only my daughter, but my friends as well. Because it is by faith that God wakes me every morning. It is by faith that God allows me to be able to look at the sunlight that is peering through my eyes. It is by faith alone that God allows me to believe that everything is going to be all right. Now, I got a little story I have to tell you, and this is by faith only. For a week and a half, my mother kept speaking about a group that she heard in her sanctuary. My mother spoke highly on this one particular person that I made friends with him through Facebook, to which we talked every day. But every day my mother said, I can't wait until Saturday. Oh, I'm so excited about this group come Saturday. You should hear these kids, these people, these young girls. They sound so good. When you hear them, you are going to be able to say that God was in the building. And every day I heard this for almost 2 weeks. So, like I told my friend Kimon, I said, when my mother speaks on somebody, it is like she's getting ready to go see Marvin Gaye or the Temptations. But I listened to my mother say this. Now, to show you how Satan can get into your midst, to show you how Satan can try to deceive you. Last Sunday, as I was driving to take care of a bill, my mother's van broke down. The motor went out. But I came back to my mother's house, and you would have thought that my mother would have been upset. You would have thought that my mother would have been blowing her cool. But my mother was like, Billy, it's okay, because God has a plan for us. I'm looking at my mother like she done lost her mind. But that's my mother. The same woman who had to walk away from me to take a stand 2 years ago. This is the same woman that is now coming to me to helping me believe that there is God. But we sat together Sunday night, and my mother kept saying, she said, Billy, it's going to be all right. I got a good feeling about it. And my mother, when she says that she has a good feeling, she always puts that little thing to it. She says, I'm not a psychic, but I know the God that I pray to. I know the faith that I have in the God that I have. He is going to make it all right. So I'm looking at my mother like, you know what, we don't have no vehicle. Now, mind you, I have a truck that I can't drive because the brakes are bad. Now, my mother knew this. My mother said, okay, well, I'll tell you what you do. We are going to pray about it, because we're going to find a way to get through this. Now, my mother, believe me when I tell you. Now, there was times when me and my mother did not speak for days and days and weeks on time. And I've asked God to forgive me for this. But now, this is my pillar of strength, my mother. So I'm like wondering, I'm like, Lord, what am I going to do? I won't have any money to take care of this and that. And then I get news that finally, after almost a year of waiting, I finally met with my surgeon, my orthopedic surgeon, and finally, almost a year to the date, I'm getting ready to start going to physical therapy to get myself ready for this surgery. Now, I have all kind of things going around me in my life. I have personal situations, financial situations, but at least that I know that God is taking care of me because of the faith that I got from my mother, that the faith I had to find. But each and every day for 1 week, my mother said, don't worry about it. God is going to get us to this concert. God is going to see that we make it. Again, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Well, I had situations come up the latter part of the week that could have got me to go back to the person that I used to be. Go back to that angry young man that I used to be. Go back to that belligerent young man that I used to be. Go back to that man who would always believe, just like I heard as a kid, Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters. Either he'll love the one and hate the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. I could have went back to that person some years ago. I could have went back to that person that would stand in the backyard way back in Saginaw, Michigan, and curse God and tell God that I hate you. Tell God that you leave me alone. I could be that person again. But it's because of the way that God has allowed me to look into a bare tree from my mother's living room and see leaves, to look at the brown grass in the yard and see the green grass that is growing. It is because of God that I can look into my house with all of the little repairs that I have and see a glorious, wonderful home front that I know he wants me to have. It is because of faith. It is because of that faith. It is because of that 1 ounce of faith that I can stand in the blowing wind and never feel coldness. But you know what? Funny thing that happened, a blessed thing that happened yesterday. When all hope was lost, when I was trying to figure out how to repair my truck, when I was trying to figure out how to come up with the money to repair my truck so that I could take my mother to this concert, my mother gives me a call and she said, don't worry about it, because we have 2 people from the church that I attend that is going and they're going to give us a ride. I stood there and I'm like, with my hands in the air, it was like, I know there must be a God. And the thing about it is that I'll be the first one to tell you that I lost my faith. I'll be the first one to tell you that I was a belligerent, angry young man some time ago. But it is because of faith. Mother's Day of 2016, when I told my mother something that probably opened up the door for me and her. I told my mother, I said, with all of the physical problems that I'm having, I will take my medication. Well, I've taken my medication to the numbers. As of January 31st, 2016, I've been taking them every day on the dot. Now, yes, I have people around me that put me down. I have people around me that talk about me. I have people around me that try to make my life more difficult than it already is. But it is because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, that I can see the leaves on the trees on a barren day. I can feel the warmth of the breeze through a cold day. This was like last night. I came to my mother's house with no jacket because unfortunately I had to leave my house and didn't take a coat. But you know what? I didn't feel any cold. I didn't feel the chill of the spring night blowing against my body. I didn't feel the cold. When I got back inside the church, I felt a warm sensation. But I'm here to tell all of you today, I'm here to tell you from personal experience, is that when you have faith in God, when you believe that God is going to deliver you, when you believe that God has put you here for a reason, when you believe that God is going to take you to the happy place that you pray about, everything is going to be all right. Every day, I hear this from my mother. Every day I hear this from my mother. There have been days that I have cried a river. There have been days that I wanted to punch a hole through cement. There have been days that I've just wanted to run away. But my mother's words have always been, you have to believe in faith. If you let it go and let God handle it, you will be all right. Now, I stand here today. I don't know what I'm going to do in my situation. I don't know how I'm going to handle my personal situation. But you know what? I'm not worried about it today. Because as I sit here today looking out the window on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, I see the leaves growing from the trees. I see the grass growing through the winter shelter. And I'm here to tell you right now that there is God. God is alive. God is with you. All you have to do is step back. Like we learned last week, we got to step back. We got to take a stand. We got to take a stand and believe that God the Father is here. He's in the saving business and he got you. He has you. And just as I learned last night, through the blessing of 4 young ladies and 4 talented young people, including a lady, that God is with you. Whenever you get to the point that you feel that God is no longer with you, when you get to the point that you believe that God has forsaken you, when you have gotten to the point where you feel as though God has walked out of your house, he put something in your way to let you know that no matter what man says about me, no matter what the people who support President Trump may try to do to me, I am still God, and I am still the head of the throne. But I'm here to tell you right now that we are getting ready to bring you a blessing that I heard last night. 4 young ladies, the name for Deliverance. 4 beautifully put together young ladies, mentored and sponsored by their mother, but sanctified by God. We're also going to bring you God's sons and daughters featuring my good friend Kemon Smith. Now, brother, if I got your name wrong, shoot me a text and scream at me. But these 8 people, these 8 young people, I say they're young because they're 20-some years younger than me, but these 8 young people were a blessing to me last night because I walked into the sanctuary upset because of my personal situations that I'm going through. But when I left, I had a smile on my face because I know God was like, okay, Billy, let me put something on your heart. Let me give you a reason to believe in me. Let me give you a reason to let you know that no matter what you go through in your home, no matter what is not in your pocket, no matter what you cannot attain, I love you. You are my son. So I want all of you today to take a listen to For Deliverance and God's sons and daughters.
After experiencing the power of the Lexus Performance line, you'll be left speechless. At the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event, find great offers now on our most thrilling models.
Lease the 2018 IS300 for $339 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Experience amazing at Meade Lexus of Southfield and Lakeside and Lexus of Ann Arbor. Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in the Lexus Central area only and ends April 2nd, 2018.
Would y'all pass me that mic? That's all right, Brandon. You keep that mic. No, that special mic. I don't want that special mic. Doctor, give me 8.